Well, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Eek Acres. I know I got a lot of people, a lot of new people that have found my channel and are starting to watch my channel, and I wanted to say to the new people that have been watching my channel, new subscribers, and even my base that's been with me for a long time, if you guys want to know about a lot of useful information, I'm going to be having a lot of videos coming to teach you guys a lot of stuff that's going to be very beneficial to you. So if you like that sort of thing, as well as talking about current events and things that are going on in the world and in this country and things like that, and as far as how to prepare and things that you can do to make a difference that will help you in day-to-day life. If you like that kind of stuff, then please subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be having a lot of content coming relating to just what I mentioned. And now I'm going to show you guys something, because I want to be doing videos that are covering both city life and country life and the difference between the two, but not in a naive way, because as everybody knows, no matter where you live, there's no guarantee that you're going to survive or succeed if something were to happen and this country fall apart. Every aspect comes with its own set of dangers. But I want to show you guys something that you may not know about. And in this video, it's going to be mainly for people that live in rural places and live out in the country. If you have property out in the country, or you live in the country, and you want to know what you can do to make your property and your home where you live more secure, I'm going to show you something you may not know about. And what I am about to tell you is 100% truth. This right here is called the multiflora rose. Yes, I'm doing a video about a rose bush, and I'm going to tell you guys why I'm doing a video about this massive rose bush that is now starting to reach 8 feet tall. This thing right here is a bush from hell. This thing right here is unpenetrable. Nothing can go through this bush, and we have hundreds of them on the property. You line your property in multiflora roses, and nothing can penetrate your property. No person can come through this, not even a bear. Animals don't mess with it. Birds don't even like to land in this thing. This thing has thorns from hell, you guys. They are hooked, and when this thing grabs you, like just walking by and this sprig is hanging out like this, when this thing grabs onto you, it does not let go. It will rip your skin apart and leave you a bloody mess. If you tripped and fell into this bush, you would not be able to get out without assistance. You literally could not get out of this bush on your own if you fell right into it. These bushes are extremely dangerous, you guys, and these things mean business. They were introduced from Japan back in the late 1800s. They're not a native species to the United States, but they also have a lot of benefits other than a defense mechanism as a fence. The rose hips and flowers are rich in vitamin C and carotene and essential fatty acids. This bush is also high in vitamin E. It's an antioxidant and assists in fighting cancer. They can be eaten raw or brewed as a tea if you use the rose hips. Native Americans use them to make pemmican, which is a high-energy, high-protein food. So there's a lot of nutrition benefits to having these on your property, but they're very invasive. One plant can put down hundreds of thousands of seeds, and when they start to grow, they get out of control. So you're always having to chop them back and prune them, because they will take root down here and start another bush, and then it'll bend down, take root, and start another one. And these things grow everywhere. Here's another one over here. These things are nothing to mess with, you guys. These things have serious, serious thorns on them. I have been chopping and dealing with these things, you guys, and I'll tell you what, it left me a bloody mess. And some of them got embedded into my skin to where they had to fester out. These things are beyond nasty. And nothing can come through this. So if you wanted to ask me, Kev, what is the best thing that I can plant to border my property that will not let any living thing through, it's the multiflora rose. These things have been used for many, many years. Farmers used them all throughout the 18th century to line their crops and their fields, to keep livestock in, and to keep people out, and to keep predators out. Because when your property's lined with this stuff, like I said, nothing can go through it. If you're in bear country, even if you were in grizzly country, you could sleep out on the ground without a tent, right on the ground, on a sleeping bag, and nothing would come into your property to bother you in the night. If you had this going all the way around your property, you would never get wolves, coyotes, any predator animals, nothing, because nothing screws with this bush. Like I said, you guys, if you've never dealt with a multiflora rose bush, then you have no idea what I'm talking about, because these things are the worst of the worst. They're beautiful, and they're the most fragrant rose you will ever smell when they blossom in the spring. And they have beautiful white pinkish petals, single petals, what's called single file flowers. And they're very fragrant. The fragrance of them carries in the breeze. So if you're sitting on your porch and you have these bordering around your property, you will smell that gorgeous, strong fragrance that's just like something straight out of heaven. But the bush itself is straight out of hell if you have to deal with it. Because the only way to get rid of it is you have to dig it up, all its roots and everything, because chopping it at the ground, it'll send up new sprigs and they'll come right back. And I'll show you what I'm talking about, because I've done just that. And I know that they grow right back. But when I cleared the property, I had to just do it the easy way for now and then come back later and dig it out with a grub pick and a shovel. But I'll show you what happens when you cut them back. Here's one I chopped at the ground, and here comes all its new tender growth. Another multiflora rose bush getting ready to start right there. This is what they look like. They get that maroon color on the new growth when they come back. Don't waste your money on an expensive fence. Don't waste your money on barbed wire that can be cut. There's all kinds of fences that don't work. Plant this stuff that grows as high as 9 feet and gets thicker than thick. You have this bordering your property. I absolutely guarantee nobody is going to go past this stuff and come onto your property. You can't make it through it. Unless you were chopping and chopping and chopping at this, and you'll end up a bloody mess, bleeding profusely if you try to go through this stuff. The best thing living out in the country is to plant this stuff all the way out to the border of your property, and then you have to maintain it. You have to prune it, and you have to make sure that it isn't sending down seedlings anywhere to grow more, because this stuff will take over a field if you let it. So how I keep it back is through mowing, because it'll send down seeds, and then babies will grow, and you'll end up with thousands, hundreds of thousands of these bushes. But if you have them bordering your property all the way around where you live out in the country, because they'll also grow in the woods, they'll grow in the shade, they'll grow in full sun. These things will grow damn near anywhere. If you have these going all around the perimeter of your property, you will see zero wildlife in your yard, on your property. Zero people will trespass on your property. You'll have no problem at all. The only way they'd be able to come in is through any opening, like a driveway, a trail, a walkway, whatever. This stuff is serious. So we have tons of it here, as well as blackberries and raspberries and all kinds of thorny things. But that multiflora rose, it's growing everywhere on this property. And surrounding your property with it guarantees you're not going to have any intruders on your property, because anyone that faces that stuff is going to say, oh, no, thank you. And they're going to go around. They're going to try to find another way to get in, because that stuff is nothing to screw with. I'm going to be going over a lot of things in videos as far as what you can do in the country to help protect yourself on the cheap. How to protect yourself in a natural way where it's not going to cost any money. Because like I said, that rose bush will give you many new rose bushes, and you can just keep planting them and planting them and planting them and end up with a whole fence hedge of those things. And then you don't have to worry about anybody traversing your property with those lining your perimeter. So I like to talk about the things that no one else is talking about, and that is why I brought up the multiflora rose on my channel, is because if you go on YouTube, you don't see anyone else talking about this. You don't see anyone else saying that if you are on a homestead and you're living out in the country and you want to protect your wildlife and you want to protect your animals and your family and stuff like that from intruders or from predatory animals, you border your property with that stuff, it's going to keep everything out of your yard unless it's got wings to fly in. That's the only way it's going to get into your yard, because that stuff right there is the most serious plant that grows in the United States of America. That stuff is no joke. So if you ever dealt with it, you would never want to screw with that plant again, because that thing bites like you would not believe. Once that thing hooks on you, it leaves you a bloody mess. And because it gets so big and thick and wide and tall, it's the best damn fence you can have on your property. Forget the wooden ones, forget metal ones, forget electric fences. Plant that stuff, problem solved. Problem solved. Nothing screws with it. So that's what I mean. I'm going to be doing videos like this, guys, to tell you guys about these things that no one else is telling you about, to educate you and to give you ideas to do things differently that isn't going to cost a lot of money and break the bank, because God knows a lot of us are suffering financially because of this stupid economy. So I want to just spread the knowledge, things that you can do, and trust me, when you do it, you're going to say, man, I wish I did this years ago, because it's something that works. It's absolutely 100% guaranteed to work. You can Google it, you can look it up. Nothing goes through the Multiflora Rose. Nothing. Thanks for watching, you guys, and we'll see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.